The Rebbe was in the middle of explaining the Gemara to his Talmidim, and he said, Talmidim, you see from here that the Mishnah was written by Rabbi Meir and not Rabbi Yehuda. Because if it was written by Rabbi Yehuda, why would the Mishnah say sheep? It would have said ox. So it must be it was written. But Rebbe, I have a really, really big question. Yes, Sammy? What is Mar Cheshvin? Excuse me? What is Mar Cheshvin? I don't know what you're talking about, Sammy, but does that have anything to do with our Gemara? Well, Rabbi Wilson is learning our parak in Gemara, right? Yeah. And he had it written on his blackboard in his classroom. Ma Cheshvin. Ma what? Ma Cheshvin. And maybe it'll help explain what's going on in the Gemara. You know what, Sammy? Maybe, but you'll have to ask him. Okay, anyway, and the Rebbe went back to talking to the class and explaining the Gemara. Sammy thought, as he sat in his seat, about his Rebbe's words, and he realized he had a unique, special mitzvah opportunity in front of him. His Rebbe had told him to go and ask Rabbi Wilson what this phrase or this word of Ma Cheshvin has anything to do with the Gemara they were learning. A mitzvah opportunity for Sammy. A command from his Rebbe. Sammy jumped out of his seat and he hurried to the door. His Rebbe was busy telling Shragi the pshat in the Gemara, explaining the Gemara to Shragi because Shragi really didn't understand. And so his Rebbe did not notice as Sammy raced out of the classroom. Meanwhile, the Menahel, the principal of the school, was walking down the hall. Rabbi Feingold, the Menahel, was on his way to bring a special Rosh Chodesh treat to Sammy's class. Each boy in Sammy's class was going to receive a Slurpee. Rabbi Feingold was walking down the hall with 4 trays of Slurpees, carefully piled one on top of the other. And he was feeling quite proud of himself as he got closer to Sammy's classroom. He had managed to carry all 20 Slurpees through the halls without dropping one. And as he rounded the corner that would lead to classroom number 27, the door to room 27 opened, and Sammy shot forth like an Olympic racer. Crash! Sammy ran straight into Rabbi Feingold and Rabbi Feingold's tower of Slurpees. The Slurpees flew up in the air, one by one. They began in slow motion to tumble down, spilling their contents all over the floor, Rabbi Feingold and Sammy. Sammy did not stop. Covered in code red and Fanta banana, he continued to race down the hall to Rabbi Wilson's classroom. He opened the door. Rabbi Wilson, it's very important. I need to speak to you. Seeing that Sammy was covered in red from head to toe, and having heard the loud crashing sound in the hallway, Rabbi Wilson replied without delay, full of concern and nervousness. Maybe someone was hurt. Yes, Sammy. Are you hurt? What's the matter? What is Ma Cheshvin? I'm sorry, said Rabbi Wilson. I'm sorry. Sammy repeated to himself in a puzzled voice. What does that have to do with our Gemara? You're sorry? The Gemara? Rabbi Wilson said. Why should I be sorry, said Sammy. And I didn't do anything wrong, and neither did the Gemara. No, I meant, said Rabbi Wilson. I don't understand what's going on. Just then, a wet and dirty Rabbi Feingold came into the room. Sammy, can I speak to you, please? Is it possible, please, Manal, to wait a minute? I'm busy having a conversation with Rabbi Wilson. Sammy, that's not Derech Eretz. I'm the Manal of the school. You have a mitzvah to listen to me. Actually, Rabbi, is it possible, Rabbi Menahel, but is it possible that we learned in class that there's an idea called Osik b'mitzvah, Pater min mitzvah, that if somebody is doing a mitzvah, he's exempt from doing another mitzvah? If you're doing one mitzvah now, and then another mitzvah comes up at the same time, you only do the one you're doing. You don't stop what you're doing and do a different mitzvah. And I'm in the middle of a mitzvah, because I'm listening to my Rebbe. So I'm pater from the mitzvah. Because my Rebbe told me to go to Rabbi Wilson and to ask him, what in the world is Mar Cheshvin? Sammy, the Menahel said, in that tone of voice that principals have when they don't want anyone to argue with them, come into the hallway now, please. Sammy had no choice. He followed the Menahel into the hallway. Sammy asked Menahel, why were you running in the halls? Menahel, I was going to do a mitzvah, and we learned in Project Derech last year that there's an idea called Zrizim Makdim in the mitzvahs, Bizrizus, that there's a mitzvah that when you have an opportunity to do a mitzvah, you're supposed to run to do the mitzvah. Sammy, next time, you're not allowed to run in the hallway, even for a mitzvah. Even for a mitzvah, you're not allowed to run in the hallway. Now, Sammy, I want you to go back to class. I will get you new clothing. I'll call from your parents' house and I'll clean up. But you need to go back to class and don't run in the hallways, even for a mitzvah. But Menahel, what about Mar Cheshvin? Who's he? Well, who's who? Mar Cheshvin, who's that? It's a word. It was on Rabbi Wilson's board. And I want to know what it means. Just then, the door to Rabbi Wilson's room opened. Excuse me, Menahel, may I speak with Sammy for a second? Yeah, that's fine. I need to anyway go get cleaned up. And I need to call the janitor to clean up the mess. I need to go take another trip to 7-Eleven. I have to go pick up new clothes for Sammy anyway. So, I gotta go. You could talk to Sammy. And Rabbi Wilson turned to Sammy and said, Sammy, I just figured out what you were talking about. I didn't get it. But now I understand what you were talking about, Sammy. You were asking me what was on the blackboard, Mar Cheshvin. That was your question. That just means the month of Cheshvan. Cheshvan? Yeah, well, Cheshvan could be spelled Ches, Shin, Vav, Nun. Oh. But it said Ma Cheshvin. No, it was Mar Cheshvin. Oh. What does that have to do with Gemara? Nothing. So I was on your blackboard. Because I wrote on my blackboard when I was teaching about the month of Cheshvan. Oh. But, oh, okay. What does Mar mean? That's a good question. Yeah, I know. I always ask good questions. Yeah, Sammy, and why are you writing Mar next to the word Cheshvan? You know what, Sammy? It's such a good question. I want you to go back to class, and after recess, because it's really recess time now, I want you to go back to class and ask your Rebbe after recess why it's called Mar Cheshvin. I'm not sure he's going to want me to ask any questions after recess. Why? Probably because the kids are going to be mad at me or something because I didn't get their Slurpees or whatever. I don't know. No, don't worry. Just ask after class, after recess. Okay. And remember, don't run in the halls. And Sammy slowly walked away from Rabbi Wilson. And as he passed the Menal's office, he walked so slowly, he was almost walking backwards. But as soon as the Menal's office was out of sight, Sammy began racing down the hall toward the front door, smashed through the front door, not broke it, but he punched it open, and he ran outside to recess. Because after all, Zrizim Makdim the mitzvahs, you're supposed to run to do a mitzvah, and going to recess is a big mitzvah. Well, it is. Anyway, after recess, Sammy raised his hand in class. And his Rebbe had just settled down. Talmidim. So, yes, Sammy? Rebbe, I spoke to Rabbi Wilson. We all know that, actually. The entire school knows that, Baruch Hashem. The entire school knows that I spoke to Rabbi Wilson. I mean, kind of. I mean, many people saw the beautiful way you decided to try to clean the floors of the school. Yeah, I know. Isn't it cool? Now if you drop something on the floors and you pick it up and eat it, it'll taste like a Slurpee. Well, let's not get really carried away, Sammy. But, yes, I spoke to Rabbi Wilson and he explained to me what Mar Cheshvin is. And what did he say? He said, Sammy was thinking, I think I forgot. Can I go ask him again? No, because Manal's on his way back with Slurpees. I don't want you to crash into him again. So listen, you don't go. I remember, Rebbe. Yeah. He said Cheshvan is the month, and it's really Cheshvan. It's not Rachashun, it's Cheshvan. Okay. And he said I should ask Rebbe why it says Mar. Oh, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked that. Means principal. Okay. It will be called Menaheles anyway. So there's that's a good question over there. You asked Sammy. That's a very, very good question. I'm very, very, very happy you asked such a good question. I know, Rebbe. I usually ask good questions. I know, Baruch Hashem. You ask good questions. That's the problem. Okay, why is that a problem? Whatever. I can't explain it. So his Rebbe gave him basically a couple of answers. And Sammy heard the answers, and they go like this. The first answer was, it was called Mar Cheshvin, because in the month of Cheshvan, a great tzaddikus named Rachel Imenu died. And the letters Mem Resh stand for Mesa Rachel. Rachel Imenu died during the month of Cheshvan. Mesa Rachel died. And so it's kind of like a sad month. It's a little bit sad that Rachel Imenu died.
That's because you're going to put in
The Rebbe said also, Mar Cheshvin is called Mar Cheshvin because in the pasuk in Yeshaya, the word Mar means raindrop. And during the month of Cheshvan, it's the month of rain, of raindrops, where we start asking for rain, the month of Cheshvan. And another reason, said the Rebbe, is because it's a Choshev month. It's a very important month. Why is it so important, Rebbe? Good question, Sammy. I know, I ask good questions. We heard that already, Sammy. It's an important month because it's the month that is going to be in Ritz Hashem. The third Beis HaMikdash is going to be dedicated during the month of Cheshvan. Yeah. And there's another reason why it's called Mar Cheshvin. Okay, yeah, 1 second. So we have one reason because what was it again? Sammy, Yukusil, don't yell at me. I'm sorry, I forgot. What was it again? I bet you don't even know Yukusil. It's because Rachel Imenu died. And then there was another reason because what was it again? Sammy, Yukusil, I bet you don't know the other reason. Because of raindrops. See. Whatever. Yeah. And then there's another reason, and the other reason is because what was it again? Sammy, Yukusil, I bet you don't know the reason. It's because the first Beis HaMikdash was dedicated during the month of Nisan.
What?
Nisan? I mean the month of Cheshvan. Yukusil? Yes, Rebbe. It wasn't. Oh. See, you can see you don't know everything. Sammy, that's not nice to your friends. But he was Sammy. Don't call out, please. It's because the third Beis HaMikdash will be dedicated in the month of Cheshvan, and another reason is because Mar means plain, and the month of Cheshvan does not have any special. Okay. The month of Cheshvan does not have any special thingies. Nisan has Pesach, Iyar has Pesach Sheni, Sivan has Shavuos, Tammuz has Shavasar Tammuz, Av has Tisha B'Av, Elul has because it's a holy month. Tishrei has Pesach, Shavuos, Sukkot. I mean Tishrei has Sukkot and Rosh Hashanah, and Cheshvan has nothing, and Kislev has Chanukah, and Teves has Asar B'Teves, and Shvat has Tu B'Shvat, and Adar Yes, Shragi? Isn't a door the thing that's attached to your house and you, why are we talking about doors anyway? Shragi, please put the book away. The problem is you're reading a book in class. You're not going to know what's going on in class. But my book's a Jewish book, Rabbi. It's all about this great rabbi. His name is Rabbi. What's his name over here? Oh, Rabbi Reggie Jackson. Reggie Jackson. Who's that? It says that he was a great rabbi on the Yankees. I don't think. Is that a baseball book? That's right. Baseball players are not rabbis. Well, they're very special because they know how to play baseball, and that's very important to me. And so to me, they're my rabbis because I read the baseball books. Shragi, I don't know what's going on here, but if you're going to continue to make jokes in my class, you're going to have to leave. Rabbi, Shragi, all right. Adar is the month of Purim. Anyway, so it's a plain month. Yes, Avremo. Rabbi, is it possible that it's called Mar Cheshvin because we want more of it? Like more Cheshvan, we want a lot of Cheshvan? It's a good joke, but that's just a joke, right? Because more is English and Mar is Hebrew. That's true. Well, Sammy heard this from his Rebbe, and Sammy was thinking about it a lot. He said, how could it be that there are 4 reasons for the same name of the month? It doesn't make sense. One has to be right, and some have to be wrong. And Sammy thought to himself, I am going to make an experiment to figure out which is the real name of the month. Why is the month called Mar Cheshvin? I'm going to figure it out. And he went home that day, and he began his experiment. He went home, and he took a pin, and he poked his finger, and he started to cry, because it hurt. And when he stopped crying because he poked his finger, he took a baseball bat, and he hit himself on the head, and he started to cry. And then, when his father came home from work, and asked him very nicely and gently, Sammy, could you please move your backpack out of the way? It's really right in the middle of the living room, and I need to be able to walk by, and it's really in the way. He said to his father, no, you don't want it there? Move it yourself. And so his father basically told him to spend the rest of the night in his room, which made Sammy very sad. And so Sammy began to cry. And he was still crying when his father went to bed, or was going to bed, and his father came into the room, and his father said to Sammy, Sammy, what is going on? And Sammy, through his tears, said, I'm crying. I noticed that you're crying. That wasn't my question. My question was, why were you so chutzpahdik to me? Because I want to be. Excuse me. Do you want to be grounded tomorrow also? Yes! Is something wrong at school? No! Don't talk like that. Don't shout at me. I want to! Sammy, what's going on? You know what? I'm gonna have to take away other privileges. You're not gonna be allowed to have any computer time. You're not gonna be allowed. If you're gonna continue to talk to me, I don't care. I want you to. What in the world, Sammy? And Sammy's father didn't want to pash Sammy, but I mean he didn't want to say, but he didn't know what to do. And along, Sammy, could you just explain what's going on? Well, I'm doing an experiment. You're trying to see what happens if you get, how much trouble you can get in for being chutzpahdik or for hurting yourself. I heard you hit yourself with a baseball bat on purpose. Like, what's going on? Because this month is called Mar Cheshvin because it's a month you're supposed to cry. You're supposed to cry during this month? That's right, because Mar means bitter and sad, and it's a sad month. It's a sad month. Why? Well, because first of all, my Rebbe said that Rachel Imenu died in this month, so we're supposed to be sad, and also because my Rebbe said, I forgot to say it early in the story. My Rebbe said that lots of bad decrees happen to Jewish people in the month of Cheshvan, so it's a sad month, so I'm supposed to cry. That's why the month is called Mar Cheshvan. It's a month you're supposed to be crying in and be sad and bitter and upset. Sammy, that's not what you're supposed to do this month, but it is. Sammy, you need to stop crying now. Okay. And I don't want to see it anymore. What happens if I hurt myself? Then you can cry for 2 minutes. Could you buy me a watch? Why? So I can time 2 minutes. I don't have a watch. Sammy, the point is, that's not what Hashem wants. Hashem doesn't want you to cry through the whole month. Well, isn't that what happens? Isn't that why there's so much rain during the month of Cheshvan? Because Hashem is crying because it's such a sad month? No, that's not what's happening. The Malachim are crying? No, that's not what's happening either. Oh, who's crying? Nobody. You mean nobody gets a boo-boo during this month? You know what I mean, Sammy. You're smart enough to understand that. Okay. Now go to bed. Do I have to? Of course. But I didn't eat supper. Why not? Because you sent me to my room during supper. Oh. Well, quickly go downstairs and have something to eat. And don't purposely fall down the steps. Okay. And Sammy went downstairs. And as he was downstairs, he was thinking to himself, the truth is that was really a bad experiment. That really hurt. And boy, oh boy, that was not fun spending all that time in my room. And I never took my stuff out of the sukkah. And so all my books are ruined because it got all rained on and all my, whatever. So I don't even have anything to do in my room. I don't even have a bed to sleep in. I'm sleeping on the floor and whatever. So that was a bad idea. That can't be why it's called Mar Cheshvin. Well, the next day, when he came home from school, he said he's going to try the next experiment to figure out maybe the reason that it's called Mar Cheshvin has to do with raindrops. And so he went upstairs into his room, and he got out his toolbox, which had a saw and a drill, and he went into the bathroom and looked up. Nope. Looked down. Went downstairs, which was right by the dining room, and he climbed on the table, stood on a chair that was on the table. He took out his drill, and he turned it on. Drilled a couple holes in the ceiling. Took his saw, cut out the little holes, make it square. Took out a piece of the ceiling, took it down, and he looked up with his flashlight. And there he saw. Okay, he took out his drill again. He went zoom, 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 and looks good. He put the piece of ceiling back on, put some scotch tape on it, and then took his tools, went back upstairs, and went home. Went back to his mother. Yes, what's up? What's up? 1 second. Let me see. Shh. Pause is hard. Run. So maybe I can cut it out afterwards. I'm not sure. Either that or people are going to see funny things on the post. Okay. Anyway, it's not. Okay. So we have to hurry up. We're running out of time. So yeah, we have to learn Parshas. Bereshis have to learn Parshas. If you ask me again, you're not going to get one.
It's already past Bereshis. It's Noah.
I did not get Parsha. I did
the beginning of Bereshis.
I did
The beginning, but not the middle.
I didn't get a treat.
Nobody did. Okay.
Nobody did.
Nobody did.
And then,
What?
I'll get one.
I'm just waiting for Esther for 1 second.
What? Give it for me then.
Did you ask me to?
No.
Oh, okay.
But shouldn't you know? Treat the other said. Yeah, happen if I was giving everyone $1,000 for about 1 minute, and you had to go to the bathroom for last minute.
What are you talking about? I didn't think so. Okay, back to our story here. So, Sam put his tools away. He went back upstairs, and he came back to the dining room and sat down at the dining room table and just sat there. His mother looked in and said, Sammy, is everything all right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, hi, Chaim. Hi, Ma. Chaim, good to see you. How was your day today? Excellent. But you know, Ma, I played gym today. We had such a basketball game you wouldn't imagine. The score was like 85-72, and I worked really hard. I'm so sweaty. I really need to take a shower before supper. Oh, great, Chaim. Did you win? Actually, I did. I was the best player. I got 35 points all by myself. It was great. It was an awesome game. But I really, really need a shower badly. All right, so run upstairs, take a shower. We'll be eating supper soon. Okay, thanks, Ma. And Chaim ran upstairs. About 5 minutes later, he got into the shower. And Sammy was sitting at the dining room table. And suddenly, there was little drippy noises on the dining room table. And Sammy looked and saw, great, Mar Cheshvin. His mother came in and put the dessert on the table. The dessert was a delicious, frosted strawberry shortcake that she had made in honor of her own birthday, because nobody's going to make her cake anyway. And she put it on her table, and she went back to the kitchen to continue making supper. About 3 minutes later, there was a loud sound of gush coming from the dining room. Uh-oh! And she ran back into the dining room, and there, on top of her strawberry shortcake, was a gigantic, well, not so gigantic, but a big piece of the ceiling. And tons of water was pouring from the ceiling onto her once delicious strawberry shortcake. What? And Sammy's just sitting there like this. Sammy, what's going on here? Why are you just sitting with a smiley face? Come and tell me. Move the cake. Do something. Your cake is getting ruined. Yeah, that's what happens during the month of Cheshvan. That's what happens during Mar Cheshvin. What? It's the month of the raindrops. What can you do? It rains during Mar Cheshvin and it's raining. The raindrops are destroying your cake. I'm sorry. Sammy, how come there are holes in the pipe? I put them there. You what? It's Mar Cheshvin. It's supposed to be raindrops. Raindrops? Those are not raindrops. I know. What is that anyway? It's Chaim shower. Chaim shower? Chaim, turn off the shower! What? I can't hear you. Turn off the shower. I'm all soaped up. I have shampoo in my hair. My shampoo's getting in my eyes. 1 second. Sammy, what's going on? What? My Rebbe said that Mar Cheshvin calls it because it's raindrops. Now, it's not raining outside. It's a bright sunny day outside. So if it's the month of Cheshvin, it can't be a bright sunny day. So it must be raining. But there's no rain outside, so I figure maybe it's supposed to be raining inside. So I made sure there was rain, so that can be Mar Cheshvin. Otherwise, it's going to be Tammuz already. I mean, Cheshvin, because then it's going to be Hanukkah, and you're not ready for Hanukkah. You don't even have latkes in the house. I'm sure you want me to... Sammy, I don't want you to do anything. You better go someplace else. Maybe your room. I don't know. But oh my goodness. Can I take some of the strawberry shortcake? You better not touch that strawberry shortcake. Oh, what strawberry shortcake? It's all ruined. It's all smushed and waterified. What's waterified mean? I don't know. You better go get him. Go away, Sammy. Oh my goodness. Well, I guess that experiment didn't work too much. About a half hour later, as Sammy was sitting on the living room couch reading a book, his mother came over and said, Sammy, I'm sorry if I yelled at you too much, but you cannot go drilling holes in our pipes. There's a plumber coming in about 15 minutes and he's going to fix it. It's probably going to cost us a lot of money to fix the holes in the pipes. So don't fix them. No, but we need to fix them. Otherwise people can't take showers. But then how are we going to have Mar Cheshvin on a sunny day? You need raindrops. Those weren't raindrops anyway. Well, where does the water come from? It comes from the water plant. And where do they get it from? Oh, the rivers? Where do the rivers get their water from? I don't know. They get it from the clouds because it rains. So they are kind of raindrops. It just took a little bit of a detour on to get here. But they're raindrops. It doesn't matter. Don't make holes in pipes. I don't want raindrops in my house. What happens if I walk outside when it's raining? Can I bring my raincoat in? Yes. But then there'll be raindrops in your house. Okay. I don't want you... don't drill holes in pipes, okay? Okay. Can I break that? No! Don't break pipes either! Don't touch our pipes! Okay, Ma. Thank you. I really didn't mean to yell. I'm sorry. Please don't. It caused a lot of damage, okay? Okay. By the way, the water dripped into the basement. It what? Yeah, it landed in the washing machine. It's okay. Whatever. In the washing machine? I have all the clean clothes I had left in the washing machine. I just cleaned them. I didn't take them out yet. Now I have to do the laundry again. Sammy, do me... Well, After that whole discussion and another Mussar Shmuz from his father, Sammy realized the name of the month can't be Mar Cheshvin because of the raindrops, because nobody wants raindrops during the month of Cheshvan. Outside, if there are raindrops, okay, but what happens if there are none? So, the next morning he woke up and he decided that he's going to try a different experiment. He came downstairs, and his mother looked at him. And his father looked at him. Chaim looked at him. Sammy, is everything right? Yeah, Baruch Hashem. Ellie looked at him. Sammy, why are you wearing your Shabbos clothes? Because. But they didn't say anything. And that whole day he wore Shabbos clothes. And the whole next day he wore Shabbos clothes. And the next day he wore Shabbos clothes. He was wearing his Shabbos clothes on the 9th day after he put them on. It was a Sunday. And he was still wearing the same Shabbos clothes. Well, I don't know if it was the same exact Shabbos clothes, but it was pretty much the same Shabbos clothes. And he was outside in the park playing with his friends. Hey, Sammy, look, you are going to be the next batter. I want you, when you hit that ball, to hit it out of here. Okay, Avremel, I'll do that. And Sammy got up and he swung at the ball. He swung so hard that he swung around with the bat and then he fell down. Oops. Try again, Sammy. Try again. Don't fall for that trick. Shmuel, you do that again. You can't throw balls like that. That's an awful. You're a bad ball player, Shmuel. I'm not a bad ball player. Sammy's a bad hitter. Let's not talk about who's bad and who's good, okay? All right. Here. Swing at it, Sammy. Swing at it. Swing at what? You didn't see the pitch? I thought he was practicing. Sammy's not practicing. He's done, okay? Ready? Sammy went to the ball, and he hit the ball, and he connected. Wow, that was a nice thought, Sammy. And he hit the ball, and the ball went flying over the pitcher's head and went flying over the second baseman's head. And boy, oh boy, everyone was cheering. It landed between the second baseman and the center fielder. And Sammy ran to first base. And the center fielder went to pick up the ball. And as he went to pick up the ball, he tripped over his shoelace. It wasn't tied. And he fell down. And the people said when he got to second base, Sammy, run to third. And Sammy started running to third. But by that time, the second baseman had grabbed the ball. And he threw the ball to the third baseman. And the ball was going to the third baseman. And Sammy was running to third base. And what's his name? Avremel, the coach, the guy in charge of the captain. He said, Sammy, slide! And Sammy said, okay! And Sammy slid into third base. Safe! Baruch Hashem. And Sammy stood up. There was one teeny problem. Unfortunately, he was playing on blacktop. And unfortunately, he was wearing his Shabbos clothes. And when he stood up, everyone said, Sammy, from the bottom of his pant leg up to the top of his pants, there were no pants. On the part where he slid, all the way up the back leg of his pants, there was a big burn mark straight through the pants from sliding on the pavement. And on his shirt from here to here. Because when he slid like this, right? I think you need to go home and change. Whoops. I guess that was a bad experiment, said Sammy, as he went home. Avremel said to Sammy, by the way, why were you wearing your Shabbos clothes? Well, Rebbe said that the month of Mar Cheshvin is because it's going to be a month of great joy because the Beis Hamikdash is going to be rededicated. So I was practicing because I'm sure that's what you're supposed to do. But I see maybe the name Mar Cheshvin doesn't have to do with that because it wouldn't make sense. There's only one choice left. And the next day when Sammy got up and went to school, he was determined to make this the reason the month was named Mar Cheshvin. And he was sitting there.
What was the other choice?
And he was sitting there in class. And his Rebbe said to him, Sammy, could you please open your Gemara? Nope. Excuse me? I mean, I don't want to. Why not? It's boring. Sammy, don't don't say that to me. Okay, I won't. Please open your Gemara. Okay. Now, could you read the next page? No. Why not? It's boring. What do you mean, Sammy? It's not boring. All right, whatever. And the Rebbe taught the rest of the class, and everything worked out, not with Sammy, but with everyone else. And when it came time for recess, the Rebbe said, okay, everyone Talmidim, you can go to recess, and class will begin again in 20 minutes. And the Talmidim all started going out of the room. Everyone left in the room. The Rebbe was writing some notes, and they looked up. Sammy, why are you here? Why aren't you going to recess? I don't want to. Why not? No, it's boring. Recess isn't boring. It is today. How do you know you didn't go yet? I know. It will be for the next few days. A couple weeks. All right, whatever you say, Sammy. The Rebbe continued, and he taught the next class, and at the end of the class, there was lunchtime. Okay, Sammy, is it possible, please, to write down your homework? It's possible, but I'd rather not. Why not? It's boring. I don't care if it's boring. Write it down anyway. All right, if Rebbe says so, I'll write it down. Okay. Talmidim, go to lunch, and Mar Cheshvin, after lunch, we're going to do Navi. See you later. And the Rebbe went out of the room. A few minutes later, the Menahel walked in, and without any slurpees, the Menahel walked in order to just check on some various things about the heater in the room. And he looked at the room. He saw Sammy sitting in his desk with his feet up on his desk. Sammy, why aren't you at lunch? I don't want to go. Why not? It's boring. Okay. If you say so. Or whatever that means. I came to English. The English teachers came into the room eventually, and the English teacher said, okay, today we're going to do an incredible experiment. We're going to try to jump from the highest point we can. Really? Yes, Shragi, we are. Could I jump from the top of the building of the school? No, that's probably a little dangerous. Who cares? Shragi. Okay. All right. We're going to actually jump from the top of from the window of our classroom. Really? Avram said to the teacher, that's like 20 feet. Actually, it is. But what I did was, the science teacher said, I set up down below a trampoline. And we're going to all jump one by one onto the trampoline. And then we're going to get off the trampoline before the next guy jumps so we don't get smushed. And hopefully we'll all be safe. Yes. You could seal. But there's one problem. You see, sometimes I enjoy eating. And so I, unfortunately or fortunately, I eat a lot, and I'm a little bit heavy. And how do I know that I won't break the trampoline and smash into the ground? Okay, you can seal. It's a good trampoline. But how do I know I won't hit the trampoline, bounce off, land on the ground, and hurt myself? You don't know that. That's what makes it fun. Actually, I tried it out. I've done some experiments. It's safe. Does the principal know? Does the principal know that you're doing this? Actually, he does. He's gonna come and jump with us. He is. Yep, not the Menahel, the principal, the English principal. He is. Yeah, he's gonna come. So, here he is now. Mr. Goldfeld. Oh yes, I'm here. Great. Look, the Hebrew principal is fine gold. His name is Goldfeld. Anyway, so here. Remember we're talking about jumping out the window? Oh yes, I remember. Yeah, we're gonna jump out the window. All right, so here, you can do it first. Well, I'm not jumping out the window. But I remember I told you we were going to do the experiment, and you said you'd come and do it. I thought you meant from the basement floor. You can't jump out the window in the basement floor. The basement floor is underground. Oh, that's a problem. Mr. Goldfeld, is it possible, maybe, perhaps, that... All right, I'll try. Just do me a favor. Could you hold my hat? Yes, sir. He wore his funny, hat he always wore wherever he went. Okay. Oh, by the way, could you hold my false teeth also? And everyone in the class says, you have false teeth, Mr. Goldfeld? No, I was just joking. Okay, anyway. And he went to the window and he said, okay, Geronimo. Geronimo? Who's Geronimo? I don't know. It's just something people say before they jump. By the way, does anybody have... Oh, all right, I'll just jump. And Mr. Goldfeld jumped. Boom, he jumped down. Oh, that was fun, he said from there. That was fun. Can I do it again? Sure, come on back up, Mr. Goldfeld. Oh, I will in about 5 minutes as soon as I can find myself. I think we got a little... Mr. Goldfeld, I don't know what in the world. How did he ever become a principal in our school? Yossi, that's not a nice thing to say. Okay, I'm sorry. And then everyone was jumping, and the science teacher turned to Sammy. Sammy, how about you? Nah, no thanks. Why not?
It's boring.
Yeah, it's boring. It's a plain old jumping on a trampoline, from 20 feet up. Who cares?
Who cares? I'd like to do that.
Who cares? Who cares? What do you... Sammy, are you feeling all right? Yeah.
Pretty high.
All right. Sammy came home that night, and he sat down at the supper table, and his mother was serving one of their favorite suppers. She was serving hot dogs and French fries, and Sammy just sat there and was nibbling at his bread. Sammy, why aren't you eating hot dogs? Yeah, I'm bored. It's boring. Then his mother left, and his mother and father left to go out somewhere, and Chaim said to Sammy, Sammy, great, Mommy and Tati aren't here. Now they can't know how long we play on the computer. Let's go quickly, run to play on the computer, and we'll play there until they come back, and we'll just turn it off the second we hear the car in the driveway. Nah, I'm not interested. Why not?
It's boring.
It's boring. What do you mean it's boring? Normally you're the one playing, and I'm fighting to get you away, and whatever. You feeling it right? Yeah, I'm just a little bored. By the time he got to his bed, Sammy was bored of being bored. He was bored in bed. He was bored of being bored in bed. And Sammy went downstairs to his father, and he said, Tati. Yes, Sammy. Can I talk to you? Sure. It's going to be a little boring. Don't worry about it, Sammy. I'm used to being bored. Well, what's the problem? I'm having a big problem with the month. With the month? Yeah. I can't figure it out. What month are we in? We're in the month of Mar Cheshvin. Well, I know we're in the month of Cheshvin, but I don't get the Mar part. You don't get the Mar part? Yeah, I tried to figure it out. But when it was Mar, because I thought it was Mar because of the experience crying, you didn't like that one, remember? Because Mesa Rachel. When I thought it was Mar because of the raindrops, Mommy didn't like that one because of the raindrops on her strawberry shortcake. Even though raindrops are good for strawberries, but I guess it's not good for strawberry shortcake or something like that. And when I tried the one about my Shabbos clothes, nobody liked that one because
what was that one for?
That one was for the month of being so special because of the dedication of third Beis Hamikdash, because I ruined my Shabbos clothes. And now when I walk to Shul on Shabbos, I have to walk sideways so nobody can see that my pants are kind of missing part of them. And nobody likes my boring experiment. Everyone's just like looking at me weird. Why are you doing this boring thing? Well, because my Rebbe said that another reason why it's called Mar Cheshvin is because it's a plain month. There's nothing special about it. So it's kind of boring. It's called Mar, because Mar means plain or simple mister. So it's a boring month. So I figured everything must be boring in this month. But I lost out really big time because I really wanted to jump out my classroom window and land on the trampoline. You did what in your school? We jumped out of the classroom window. You did? Does the principal know about it? Actually, Mr. Goldfeld did it. Mr. Goldfeld did it? Yeah, he did. Wow. That's incredible. Did he laugh, smile? Nope, he just did it. Just jumped out the window. And you didn't do it? No, because I thought you're supposed to be bored during the month of Mar Cheshvan, so I was acting bored. But I don't like that, and nobody likes it, and what am I supposed to do? Well, I think that Mar Cheshvan could mean that reason for all of it, but you don't have to act like the month means. It's not that you're supposed to act that way, but you're supposed to know why it's called that. Oh, I guess. Okay. So, just be yourself and enjoy the month. Okay, Tom. See you later. No. Now it's time to go back to bed. I don't want to go to bed. But you need to go to bed. But it's boring. Remember, we're not doing that anymore? I know, but no, I mean, it's really boring this time. I mean, really boring to go to bed. Well, if you don't want it to be a month of crying, all right, I'll go to bed. Sammy went to bed. All I'm going to tell you is that the next day, when Chaim came home from school, he had to take a bike ride. He wanted to go ride his bike to his chavrusa. And when he went to the garage to look for his bike, he couldn't find it anywhere. And he ran into the house. Anybody know where my bike is? I think it might be stolen. It's missing. Anyone know where my bike is? I do. Sammy, where is it? It's hiding. Why is my bike hiding? Does this have anything to do with the month of Cheshvan? Does somehow the word Mar have to do with bicycles? No. But it does have to do with Cheshvan. What do you mean? Because today in class, my Rebbe gave a whole speech that because Cheshvan is a rainy season, it's very important to be safe, because safety is something you have to start talking about in the Cheshvan, because it starts getting dark earlier, so therefore people are out when it's dark and riding their bikes, and it's dangerous to ride a bike, and people can get hurt riding bikes at night, and if you don't have proper reflectors on your bike, you shouldn't ride it at night, and if you're not wearing a good helmet, you shouldn't ride it at night, and if your bike is not a safe bike to ride because you don't have good tires, you shouldn't ride it at night, and I don't have a bike, so I wanted to make sure at least you don't go riding your bike, so I made sure that your bike is hiding. Sammy, give me my bike back. No, I'm sorry, I can't do that, because in the month of Cheshvan you have to be very safe, because it gets dark early and it's not so safe. Sammy, I'm sorry, I can't get your bike for you now. Sammy, give me my bike. And Sammy ran out of the room, and Chaim ran after him, and Sammy ran upstairs and slammed the door, and Chaim ran upstairs after him and started begging on the door, Sammy, open this door. And Sammy's mother came out of her room. What is going on here? Sammy stole my bike because it's the month of Cheshvan. Sammy, what's this about the month of Cheshvan have to do with bike? The month of Cheshvan doesn't... Oh, well, I can't tell you what happened in the end. That's all I know.
What? Because Rabbi Kuski doesn't.